Welcome back to the Train Now, Age Later podcast. My name's Ralph Caggiano, certified personal trainer and nutrition coach through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Got a few specializations. We won't go into that. I'm not here to blow my own horn. Burp, burp. Renee, tell them who you are.
I am Renee Caggiano, wife of the trainer.
All right. So what we do is we're going to talk about different topics. I'll give you my point of view from the trainer's perspective, and Renee is going to give you the point of view from the
trainee or the client or the layperson.
Yes. So that's what we're going to do. If you guys haven't been keeping up with it, that's okay. You can keep up with it starting now. Like and subscribe if you like it. If you don't, keep it to yourselves, all right? All right. So what do we want to talk about? What do you feel like talking about today?
Today, I think we should talk about something that everybody wants to talk about.
Yeah?
Supplements. Supplements.
Yeah, everybody does want to talk about supplements. And sometimes the problem with that is they want to talk about supplements before they have even gotten their habits down that are first and foremost when it comes to getting yourself healthy and in a routine.
Thinking that supplement, you're going to take it and suddenly you're going to be jacked or in great shape. Or
Exactly. Yeah. Because, hey, who doesn't want the quick fix, right? I think that's why GLP-1s became very popular to begin with. We're not actually going to talk about GLP-1s, which is funny because you would think that'd be one of the things we would talk about. We could a little bit, but those are a peptide, and we're going to talk more about common supplements. In fact, I think we're going to talk about protein. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about things that are definitely, not that GLP-1s aren't, but we're going to talk about things that are proven, have been well researched, and they have been studied in athletes, and that you can get over the counter. So we're going to talk about protein. We're going to talk about creatine. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about amino acid supplementation.
Yummy.
Oh, man. And then, you know what? What else should we talk about? Caffeine. Thank you.
Caffeine. My favorite.
Yeah, caffeine is probably everyone's favorite. So we'll get into that. Hopefully we'll cover what you guys want. And let me look at my watch. I don't know why.
Why are you looking at your watch?
I don't know why. I just looked at my watch, but hey.
Are we on a timer?
Deadline. We're on a deadline.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. So let's get into it first, and let's just talk about protein, right? First of all, before you even worry about do you need to have protein, like now you're looking at your watch.
Because somebody's trying to call me.
Someone's trying to call you because you're so popular.
Probably not.
Yeah. At least one of us is. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably a business call.
Mine's just
and
spam.
I just turned it off.
I don't actually have friends or anything, so it's just spam.
Aww.
I actually answer those calls because then I feel like I'm in touch.
Talk to someone?
Yeah, I'll be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And they're like, "We don't really want to talk to you." Okay, so protein. No stupidness.
I want to sell you a solar system.
I want to sell you some protein.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to sell you protein.
It's a good protein.
It's garbage day around here too, guys. So sometimes you may hear a truck in the background, possibly a gardener, hopefully not. We're trying to keep the sounds down to a minimum, but we'll see what happens here. So protein, right? Everyone thinks when they start working out, hey, I need to take protein powder. I have to buy a protein powder, obviously, right, coach? Wrong. First of all, we don't even know yet what kind of protein, how much do you eat during a day? What are your goals? Those are the things that are going to depend on whether or not you need to supplement with protein. Do you get enough in your diet normally? If so, you might not need it. Do you supplement with protein?
Most days I do supplement with protein. Not every day. Some days I get enough protein through my diet that I don't need to supplement. Other days I'm a little low. Today I'm going to need to supplement with a protein shake just to make sure I hit my numbers.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do that. I probably do that 5 days a week.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So why do you think... Well, what made you start supplementing with protein anyway? Did it have anything to do with your diet?
It did. Yeah, I wasn't getting enough. As a vegetarian, I wasn't getting enough protein in my diet. My numbers were pretty low, as you know. And probably when I started supplementing with protein, I was probably only hitting like 80 grams a day
Right.
That was with the protein supplementation.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm getting like anywhere between 150 to 180 something grams a day.
Okay. And some people might go, oh my gosh, that's a lot of protein. But honestly, let's get back to this. Renee's 57 years old. As we age, our bodies don't synthesize protein as efficiently as they did when we were younger. So you actually need more protein as you get older because the muscle protein synthesis rate goes down. So don't freak out when you hear somebody say, "Oh my, I have 150 to 170 grams." Okay, you want to aim for, basically 1 gram per pound of body weight anyway, per desired lean body mass, possibly more, depending on whether or not you're training routine, on let's say you're training 5 to 7 days a week. Some people are 7 days a week, but let's say 5, 6 days a week, doing a lot of resistance training, then you need to have a little more protein in your diet. If you're an endurance athlete, the requirements or the recommendations are a lot lower. It's more like 1.4 grams per kilogram. So that puts us all the way down to about 0.7 grams per pound of body weight, right? Lean body mass. That gets a little confusing too. And I don't want to get into the weeds on all that and talk to you guys about how many grams per, kilogram of body weight you should eat, because we're just going to stick to whether or not it's a good thing to supplement with. And I think when you're talking about somebody with a vegetarian diet or plant-based diet, a lot of times their protein consumption is going to be much lower than somebody who is more of an omnivore or even obviously a carnivore.
And when you're on a diet like that, you have to actually eat a lot more to get enough calories. So to get enough protein. So you're probably going to overconsume calories.
Yeah.
That's what was happening with me.
Yes. That's a good point too, because that's what I think is interesting, because you'll hear a lot of proponents for plant-based eating, and they'll talk about how you can get the same essential amino acid profile through beans and stuff like that. When you mix them, sometimes you need to mix 2 different plant proteins to get a complete protein. As we know, we've always heard beans and rice makes up a complete protein, but you have to consume so much more of it to get the same level of essential amino acids out of that protein source. And then your caloric consumption for the day is usually well above where you should be. And then you start getting soft and fat.
Soft and squishy.
That's right.
Yeah. Putting on extra body fat.
Yeah. So with the protein supplementation for you coming from the plant-based world, and how did you notice that change for you as far as your body composition?
Oh, huge change.
Yeah.
Huge change. Yeah. As I have increased my protein, the body composition has changed dramatically. So my body fat has come down. My lean mass is still about 106 pounds of lean mass. But it maintains, it stays about there, because we already talked about how hard it is to build muscle.
Right.
But with the recomposition, the body fat comes down, you start seeing the muscle. You look leaner.
Yes.
You look more muscular than you did when you were just, on our last podcast, we said bulky.
Bulky. That's right. Yeah. Bulky, soft, carrying more body fat, that kind of thing.
Just bigger.
Yeah. So if your diet, what you guys want to do is when you decide whether or not you should supplement with protein, if you're working with a coach, talk to the coach, talk to them about what you're eating right now, and hopefully, I'm sorry, I was just checking this. The gardener across the way is going to town right now, so I was just making sure the levels weren't coming through the mic. But yeah, you want to talk with your coach, maybe a nutritionist, somebody like that, that can help you figure out if you're having enough protein based on your activity level. It's going to be very important that you do match those together, because you don't need to overconsume either. Then that's going to, come to probably storing more body fat again. So just things to think about. But protein, you have to remember, it is made up of amino acids. They're the building blocks of protein. Protein is used for all kinds of things in our body. People get a little bit lost thinking it's just about building muscle, but it's also good for your metabolism, good for your soft tissue rebuilding, your tendons, your ligaments, your bone health. It's good for so many things, your brain health, all of it. So do not think that you do not have to have protein in your diet. You do. And the recommended bare minimum is, I think, when you were first doing it, was you were having 80 grams. That's really around the bare minimum, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
really low.
the bare
It
minimum
was like a half a gram
per pound.
per pound
Yeah.
at that point. Yeah.
And that's what they get into. The RDA bare minimum is 0.8, if I'm remembering
Yeah.
correctly, 0.8.
I think so.
Yeah, per pound, all
Right.
right, or per
Right.
kilogram actually.
Yeah.
0.8
And
per
so
kilogram,
I wasn't even
which
getting,
is 0.4 per
yeah.
pound.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So we kind of set a goal to at least get the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you convinced me that, eggs were not my enemy and,
Yes.
Greek yogurt was okay, and those things, adding those things in has really helped me to boost my protein numbers.
Good. Yeah, that's something to think about too. So good sources of protein, right? The Greek yogurt, great. If you got to watch your fat, go with the non-fat Greek yogurt. You'll get a lot of protein out of it. Keep the fat down. You've got lean cuts of meats, right? Stay away from the processed ones if you can, and then get the nice lean cuts of meat. Fish, obviously, for various reasons, is good. Eggs are a great source.
Egg whites.
To supplement
Eggs with the egg whites.
Yeah, because eggs themselves, right? We're looking at 70 calories per egg. It can get a little bit calorically dense as you get.
And if you're watching your saturated fat, like I do,
yes,
you want to be careful with that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that with the egg whites. So
the egg whites are,
I do like 2 eggs, 4 egg whites.
Right.
Something like that.
Yep. So that's a good tip too. Like use egg whites to supplement your eggs and bulk them up too.
Yes.
You'll get a little more food. You'll feel a little bit fuller. You'll get more protein out of it, but you'll also get the benefit of the whole egg by having a couple of them in their entirety.
Mm-hmm. And it tastes better.
And they taste
plain egg whites.
Plain egg whites they taste like nothing really. They're just kind of meh.
Yeah.
And they can be a little watery.
They're a little disappointing.
Let's see. Let's talk about so shakes, right? Are they necessary? Do you have to have a shake? Only if you need the protein. If you're good with your diet, you don't have to. Now, I will tell you this, and this is an important thing to think about. When you do digest protein, if it's already in its liquid form, it does seem to absorb better. There's studies that show that protein that's already broken down into its amino acids, basically, or at least closer to it, is going to be more of it is going to be absorbed than when you have like a solid protein. And also eating protein on its own and not combined in a meal seems to also be better utilized for what you're looking for, but only marginally. So don't get twisted up on that. Still eat your protein with your vegetables or however you like it. Don't freak out about that because it's really just a marginal difference on that one. All right. Do you think we kicked that protein to death?
I think protein's been done.
Protein's been done.
Yeah.
All right.
But remember, don't sleep on protein.
Don't sleep on protein. That's right. A lot of old school thinking that protein was bad for you, by the way. It's not bad. The people think it's like really rough. Now, if you have kidney issues already, then yeah, you might want to watch your protein consumption because it might be a little bit tough on the kidneys. But that's something you need to also discuss with your doctor. We're not telling you to go out and start eating a ton of protein if you have kidney issues. If you do have kidney issues, talk to your doctor, find out what their recommendation is, go with that. Creatine. Or should we go into essential amino acids since we just talked about protein? Should we just flow it?
Yeah, it kind of flows into EAAs.
It does, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So essential amino acids, the building blocks of protein. Some people might be like, well, if I'm supplementing with a protein powder, why would I supplement with essential amino acids? It's a great question. Why? I don't
Please tell me because I'm not sure why I'm doing it exactly.
No. So the research on amino acids is actually pretty good. Taking direct amino acids, you're kind of bypassing the whole idea of needing the protein. You're going straight to the source, to the essential amino acids, which they're called essential amino acids because your body doesn't make them. So they're not endogenous. They're not made inside the body. You have to take them from a food source or a supplement to even get them.
Endogenous.
You like that, huh?
Wow.
Endogenous.
Ooh.
So we get them through an exogenous source. I'm going to throw it at you again. We go from endogenous to exogenous.
I'm so impressed.
But not androgynous. Anyway, so we're going to stick with exogenous because that's how we get our essential amino acids. We need them.
Okay.
So we get them through our diet, get them through food sources, but you can also get them through supplementation. Now, there are three that are talked about a lot because they're the branch chain amino acids. They're leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And those three are very important in muscle protein synthesis. However, with leucine being the main one that drives it, with a 3 grams threshold, if I remember that correctly. People are like, you just spouting out crap now. No, I'm serious. I know this stuff, I promise. But we'll get it. I'm going to tell you why I'm pointing this out with the branch chain amino acids. They're included in the 9 essential amino acids. So people get it really twisted up like, oh my God, there's a supplement of BCAAs, but there's also a supplement of EAAs. Which one do I take? Do I take both of them? Do you take both of them?
I do not take both of them.
What do you take?
I take EAAs.
You take EAAs. Okay. And what do you take? How many of them? Do you know what the dosage is that you take?
I think it's 5 grams.
Yeah, about 5 grams
About
is probably
5
good.
grams because 10 grams is
Now,
a little rough.
Yeah, you take it in a powder form.
Powder form. I mix it into my protein shake along with creatine.
Mix them together.
Put them all together.
Okay. Which is good. It's fine. So you're getting a lot. You get a big bang out of that protein, and because the protein's all made up of EAAs, then you're adding more EAAs.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, we think, okay, that's going to help with more muscle protein synthesis and kind of drive that protein punch. I'll call it a protein punch a little bit. and then the creatine, of course, for what we'll get into. We'll talk about creatine here in a little bit. But I also supplement with creatine powder. You can get it in capsules. Back in the day, long time ago, when I was a little kid, back in like we'll call it the early 80s. We'll call it the 80s. Joe Weider's company used to make these little packets, and they were amino packets, and they looked like little packs of vitamins. I don't know if they really had anything in them. A lot of that stuff was found to be fake, but they would sell them all the way back then. So supplementing with amino acids was something they already knew about. And they've done a lot of studies on amino acids, and people in hospital beds that are totally inactive, they found that giving them essential amino acids helps prevent muscle wasting. So that right there is a lot of proof, right? If it can prevent muscle wasting, because I've been in the hospital over the last couple of years, a couple of times, and the first time I walked out of there, man, I lost a lot of weight and wasted away because all I was getting was basically sugar water, I guess.
Yeah, you had an IV. You weren't allowed to eat anything.
Yeah, they weren't giving me anything to prevent my muscle wasting. So I wish they would have. But it's been proven in patients to prevent muscle wasting. And that's something that's really important to note. And also the essential amino acids. If you're somebody that takes collagen, supplements with collagen, which is also protein, if you supplement with that, you usually will notice that your fingernails grow a little bit faster, your hair maybe, but mostly I'll notice it in the fingernail area where they'll be like needing to be cut more often. Well, essential amino acids seem to do the same thing. And then there's good research, because we know how they work, that the essential amino acids are great for your soft tissue. So tendons, ligaments, bone health, same thing as protein, right? Mm-hmm. But you're getting the straight source, so it doesn't have to go through the breakdown process as much. It's just going to go straight from amino acids, get absorbed into your system. It's going to be a little bit more effective. Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
It's fascinating.
Fascinating. But it tastes like trash.
Yeah.
Do you like them?
No.
There's different kinds, though. They make some that are more palatable.
Yeah, the ones we have, though, are the naked, and so they're just pure
amino. Yeah. Yep. They almost taste, well, I don't know how this would taste, but in my mind, they taste like bone dust or something. Like it's just gross.
I could see where, you would kind of.
I would equate it with like
with bone dust.
Pulverized bone.
Yeah. It's. Yeah.
What if it is? No, it's not. What if we're consuming cadavers? No.
No, if I stick with a 5 gram dosage,
yeah,
it's usually okay.
Okay.
Mixed in with a a flavored protein powder.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, I just do a scoop, one heaping scoop. It's generally about 4 to 5 grams. I toss that in with my shake, but you can put it into other liquids too. They do have a caloric load. A lot of people, there's a lot of information that says, hey, they don't actually have any calories in EAAs, but think about it. It's a broke down protein. It's protein broken down into its building block. Protein itself is a macro with 4 calories per gram. Guess what? You should probably figure your EAAs are about 4 calories per gram. So if you're somebody that tracks calories, you should probably think about that when you're consuming EAAs as well.
You know what's interesting about that is I did a Google search to
You
see how
did?
much. I did. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah, I can too. Just to see what the calories were
Uh-huh.
in my 5 grams, and it told me none. And then I looked at the jar, and it said 10 grams has 45 calories.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the company itself will tell you, yeah,
It'll tell you what it has.
It has a caloric load.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, research is like, no. Now, I don't know if I really don't know why they have that discrepancy, but I feel like it's safe to say that, yeah, there will be some kind of caloric weight to that, to supplementing with EAAs. But anyway, they are proven. And getting back to the branched chain amino acids. So do you need to take those as well as essential amino acids? And I'm going to tell you no. First of all, the research on just taking BCAAs by themselves isn't good, because you still need all of the other essential amino acids to make those 3 BCAAs work. So don't just take the BCAAs. Don't believe that that's going to work. It's not going to be beneficial for you. If you take them in conjunction with the regular essential amino acids that they're already part of, so if you like to waste your money, go ahead. But if you feel like you get a little more out of that by taking those on top of a regular essential amino acid, go ahead. You're just going to get a lot of extra leucine, isoleucine, and valine. But you may not need that because the protein sources you're eating may also have enough of it. So, you may be going way overboard on the threshold that's needed for the leucine and the muscle protein synthesis and getting all into the weeds on that. But I would say save your money, just get the essential amino acids, use those to supplement your diet if it's even something you need to do. Like we've said at the beginning, first thing you need to do is exercise regularly. Right?
Yep.
Eat a healthy diet. Don't worry about the supplementation that we're talking about today if you're not doing any of those things right.
If your diet is garbage,
yeah,
it's not going to benefit you.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out. You're not doing the other things right. Your habits suck. Get those on track. Then worry about supplementation. They're not magic anyway. They're not going to make you, great, especially if you don't do anything else right. That brings us to creatine. Creatine. Yeah.
Which doesn't taste like garbage.
It really doesn't taste like anything. Yeah.
No, I love supplements like that. That don't taste like
And there's
anything.
something that doesn't seem to have any calories, right?
No, it doesn't list calories.
Right. There's no calories in creatine. You can drink it in, same with the amino acids. You can put them in a hot beverage. You can put them in a cold beverage. Now, creatine does seem to uptake better when it has a carbohydrate with it. So sometimes you'll see creatine come in like a carbohydrate type of mix. And when I say that, I mean like a juice, something with some sweetener to it, some kind of carbohydrate, fast burning carb.
Sugar.
Yeah, so it can uptake into the muscle a little bit better. But it's not necessary. You can just take regular plain old creatine monohydrate and water if you want to. You can put it in your shake if you take a shake, or you can put it in any beverage you want to drink it in. It's not going to hurt it. It just may alter it a little bit as far as the flavor. So just be aware of that. Back in the day when I was first certified, like in the early 90s, like 1994, I want to say creatine started to be marketed in 94. I feel like that's the first time I started taking it because
I remember that.
Yeah, I used to take it. It was really gritty. And it used to just sit right in the bottom. You had to swirl it the whole time to get it suspended in the water. And then you'd have to just chug it while it's suspended because if not, it would sink right to the bottom. And then you'd have all this sandy, gritty creatine monohydrate. that's why creatine would get a bad rap too, because people would say, "Oh, it gives me, gut issues."
Right.
And the creatine we use now is so powdery,
Yeah.
so
It's
powdery. I
very
mean, it
fine.
just seems to
Our
dissolve.
scale looks like it's got cocaine all over it.
It does. It does look like it comes from Colombia.
Yes.
Yeah. But I prefer it, and it's good stuff compared to what it was back in the '90s. And they still make a lot of gritty creatine out there, creatine monohydrate. Now, if you don't like that, there's also creatine HCl, which is hydrochloride based. And I believe when I've had it before, it mixes and dissolves. It does give a little more of an acid taste to your water. But it's, the monohydrate is so well researched and it's proven, for strength, fatigue resistance, so for endurance, that kind of thing. It also has a lot of evidence now for cognitive improvements that they're really coming along with. But recommended dosage for this is like 3 to 5 grams. That's still the best research dose. A lot of people are out there pushing up to 20 grams. Be careful with that. That might not be necessary. Maybe it'll be researched well enough and that will end up being the dose that they'll recommend. But right now, keep it to 3 to 5 grams. Is that what you take?
I do 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
And you try to do that daily?
Yes.
Did you load your creatine? Because there's a lot of talk like you have to load 20 grams a day to begin with.
I did, like, I don't know, a few years ago, something like that. It's been a long time since I've been taking it. Probably, it's been close to 3 years.
I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
tell me.
You tell me. When did you start getting it?
Yeah, probably.
For us.
It's probably been about 3 years.
Yeah.
When I started using it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one thing too you'll notice, I think, with creatine, you'll wonder like, well, what is it going to do for me? Well, when you go into the gym and you first start, right, and you haven't loaded the creatine yet, and by the way, you don't have to. You can take 3 to 5 grams. It will eventually saturate into your muscle anyway, and then you'll notice the benefits of it. So you just have to be a little more patient. If you load it, it's going to be in there quicker into your system. But you're going to notice strength improvements. Now you have to be careful because just like anything, when your strength starts to improve pretty quick or rapidly and you haven't really conditioned the connective tissue yet to handle those kind of loads, you could possibly get injured a little easier. I'm just going to throw that out there because I do remember my strength going up really rapidly when I was younger, not now, when I was younger and I started using creatine. My strength went up quick and then I started to have some issues like couple of shoulder problems and stuff just from having like all of a sudden I could bench press much more weight than I normally would have. And things weren't conditioned and ready for it yet. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed your strength go up when you started using creatine? You're pretty strong.
Yeah, I am pretty strong.
You are pretty strong. I mean, you really are for your little size.
I was going to say, don't say for a woman. I'll have to slap you.
No, I wasn't going to say for a woman.
For my size.
Dude, first of all, women out there, they are deadlifting weight that I can't even fathom. They are squatting poundages. I mean, they are crazy strong right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, if someone said you're as strong as a girl, I'd probably be like, that's cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to be as strong as a girl. Yeah.
Especially lower body exercises. I think women have an advantage anyway. Unless you're more of a short, squatty guy. If you're a tall, lean guy with long legs, it's really hard to.
You're not going to squat as much as I am.
Well, pound for pound, I'm not really sure I could.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're pretty strong, like I said.
Yeah. I'm not sure though if I can identify a direct correlation between the creatine.
Yeah. Well, I do notice. I can say from my observation of you, it seemed like all of a sudden you were getting really strong. From one in your squat went up pretty quick.
It did, and my deadlift did too.
And your deadlift went up pretty fast too.
That's true.
Because we started you off, and you were deadlifting the trap bar
just the
by
trap
itself.
Bar. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you were deadlifting, like 185 pounds and up.
Yeah.
What did you go up to? Like 230, 220,
220, 225.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's and it was really fast gains.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
So
maybe that
also you were the other thing too people might forget is that when you're new into lifting and everything and you get into a serious, your gains are going to come rapidly anyway.
And they did. I felt like, oh wow, I can only squat the bar.
Yeah.
I can't do anything. Then all of a sudden I was
throwing 45s on the side.
Yeah.
getting at it. And your arm strength too, like with your tricep press downs and stuff like that. I notice I'm like, I have to. It makes me have to work a lot harder because I got to make sure I'm like, dude, I can't let this chick like.
I've noticed that
like
my back and my triceps are probably my strongest, and they continue to get stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That way, if you got to carry me out of the house when it's on fire or something,
I could probably drag you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I could drag you.
I bet you could. So creatine beneficial for mass, strength, fatigue resistance, possibly cognitive health. It is naturally produced in the liver and the kidney. It's stored in some skeletal muscle, but the body only produces so much of it, very small amount actually, and that's why we have to consume it as well through supplementation, through the diet. Even red meat doesn't have a whole lot of it, so that's why it's really best if you consume it through a supplementation. But again, check with your doctor, your primary care. It may not be necessary for you. It might not be something you want.
I just wanted to ask, have you ever heard like any myths like why somebody might be afraid to take creatine? Like they might think it's going to make them huge.
Well, people think creatine's, they think it's a steroid. A lot of times,
okay.
like that for the longest time was creatine's, that's steroids. And it's like, no, it's not steroids at all.
So it maybe had a bad rap for
okay. So there's a couple of things. One, it seemed some people were complaining about bloating. Like, it makes me feel like I'm retaining too much water.
Oh, okay.
Now, I will say that in the 90s, I also felt like that a little bit, but I was eating like a pig at the same time. And so I'm not sure if it was because of my crap diet or because of the creatine, but I don't.
In the 90s?
Yes.
Did we even have money to buy
when I say
food to feed you in the 90s?
When I was, back then, it was pasta. I would eat a whole bag of pasta. I was eating junk. Like I was just eating processed whatever. We didn't have any money. Okay. We were poor. We were really poor. If we had $20 at the end of the month, we were
people.
Yeah, we were in the Coast Guard, active duty, enlisted people. We were living on base. I mean, we were scraping by. We were fine. We were happy and all that good stuff. But we didn't have money for food, so we'd buy like maybe one whole turkey, and that turkey would last for quite a while. Man, that was probably horrible for your health too, because you're not supposed to keep food like that around as long as we probably did.
Well, we made other dishes out of it. We made soup out of the carcass.
Soup. That's
but yeah, we probably kept our food around a little longer than it should have.
Yeah, we should probably
just
be
so
dead.
We could keep eating.
My gosh.
Yeah. Waste not, want not.
Yeah, lots of pasta, lots of
That's
cheap
true.
ground beef, and I would cook the ground beef, throw it into the big things of pasta,
taco pasta,
and make corn, whatever, and just season it with some taco seasoning,
cheap ingredients,
cheap stuff, processed stuff, not healthy food.
Yeah. We weren't worried too much about calories.
No.
We're pretty active. We're both very active.
Thank God. Because if we weren't active, we would have probably been, we would have been in really bad shape.
Yeah.
But we were so active because I was already into fitness at that point too.
Yeah.
And you were very much into more aerobic activity and stuff like that.
You were always like 5 miles.
You
a day,
walked and ran like constantly.
Yeah.
We lived in Hawaii. That was the only part that I can say was good for us, is that we were in Hawaii, very active, great weather for it. So we were very fortunate.
Yeah, it's hard.
Very
it's
fortunate.
hard not to be active.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. Where were we talking about now? So creatine.
Yeah. I asked about myths.
So the bloating, right? So if you're not hydrating well, you need to hydrate well when you take creatine. So make sure you're drinking enough water, okay? Keep the water going. It's just going to be better for you. So that's one of the complaints. They'll also say that it bloats, causes GI distension, possibly issues for some people. If it does, don't take it, right? That's where the HCl seems to be a little bit more well tolerated. What else? Yeah, so you're going to notice the benefits of it when you get to the gym. And that's pretty much it on that. They do.
And what do you think about the creatine gummies? Because everything comes in gummy shape or gummy form now.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of gummies at all, because they have calories. So I was at Costco the other day, and everybody goes to Costco, right? And they sell everything in gummy form. And one of the things is creatine monohydrate. Now, the dose of the creatine monohydrate that I looked at there for gummies was choose 3 of these gummy things, right? And 3 of them have 75 calories. Now, let's say you're somebody that has to keep your caloric load down, right?
Mhm.
Your total daily energy expenditure is only, say, let's say you're just somebody that's in the 1,500 to 1,700 calorie
Right.
range, right? Somebody like that, smaller person. Now you're going to just drop 75 right there. And then let's say you take a fish oil supplement, because we do know that omega 3s are very well researched, very beneficial for everybody. You take that, that's going to be another 15 to 20 calories. Okay, so now you've just consumed basically 100 calories in those two things. And then let's say what's also popular, right? You need to have your fiber, right? Fiber is really healthy for you, but a lot of people don't want to eat. They don't like fiber in their food for some reason. They're not into fruits or vegetables. So they take a fiber gummy. Fiber gummy. There's another 15, 20 calories. All these gummies, they also all have a lot of other additives to them. So it all adds up. I don't like gummies. I think that gummies, if you can get it in just a capsule or a powder of some sort, I would prefer that you do that over a gummy. Gummies have sweeteners. They have all these other things. I'm just not a fan of them.
Okay.
Now you got me all riled up, didn't you? See my face change?
You got
It's funny.
mad about the gummies.
But you know what? I'll tell you this, guys. I do like gummy bears.
True confessions.
Oh my gosh.
Of the trainer.
But only on occasion. It's a treat, right? It's a treat. Pre-workout. Post-workout?
I don't
No
know.
workout?
I don't like gummy
You
bears.
ate them. All right, sweethearts.
I would much rather have sweet tarts.
Yeah. So no, I'm not a fan of gummies. I think you can get it through different sources, keep the calories down, keep the ingredients out of there. Same with protein, by the way. Well, let's get back to that real fast. When you look for a protein supplement, look for something that has a lot less ingredients. The things that you find on the shelves that are really tasty and everything, they're generally full of trash ingredients. Look for something that has about 5 ingredients or less. Keep it simple. Make sure maybe they're third party tested. We don't want to have things that we want to make sure that the stuff that it says it is in the bag or in the container is actually in the container or in the bag, that you're not consuming some trash, right? So, and then of course they do make now A2 dairy is great out there for people that have lactose intolerance as well. So that's also an option for people that can't tolerate regular whey protein. Pretty cool, right?
What's interesting
Expensive.
is I have a lactose issue.
Oh, do you?
But I can use the whey protein isolate and it does not bother me at all.
All right.
I do the clear one.
The clear isolates, yeah.
Yeah. And they are not a problem for me.
Now they even have, they have all these drinks too, right? These clear drinks with protein in them, but they have all these other ingredients too. And again, that's something I would avoid if you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
I found that the clear whey protein isolate was a lot easier on my stomach than the pea protein.
Oh, interesting.
That I was using. And those were very clean.
Yeah.
They only had like 5 to maybe 7 ingredients depending on the flavor. They didn't do so well on my stomach.
Yeah.
I had a lot of stomach upset using those.
There's sometimes the ingredients in there just are not going to work with everybody a lot of times. And then some of them are sweetened differently. Sucralose, monk fruit, stevia, it just depends on the brand, where they're trying to cut corners on costs and stuff like that.
How many gums are in them?
How many gums?
Emulsifiers.
Yeah. Alcohol sugars.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of trash out there.
It's usually the ones that taste really good.
Oh, yeah.
They taste like dessert.
They do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on, shall we, to caffeine, because we love it. I'd like to drink some caffeine now.
I could use some caffeine right now.
Yeah.
I could use a Fit Aid.
Fit Aid Energy?
Fit Aid Energy.
Yeah.
200 clean milligrams of caffeine, baby.
Where do they get their caffeine sourced from?
Green tea, I believe.
Green tea extract?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. We do like our Fit Aid Energy. It's kind of part of our ritual.
That's
some
our
people
morning routine.
People get up in the morning, they have coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to be big coffee drinkers, and you still like your coffee.
I do sometimes.
I can't really.
Have a little coffee.
My body and coffee they're not compatible anymore.
I just let him sniff my coffee.
I do. I love the smell of coffee. I could go into a coffee house and it made me feel so good. It's so comforting. But
is comforting.
yeah, but if drinking it, then I'm just not. It's not good for me at all. I feel everything bad from it. So I drink. I do drink an energy drink. I drink a Fit Aid Energy in the morning as my caffeine source, and I'm not. I'm not gonna apologize for it. Nope.
Nope.
I think it's tastes good and it gives me the pick me up I need. Some people will drink pots of coffee all day and they'll say that's better for you. Hey, to each his own. You know, there's nothing in this thing that I'm drinking that's bad for you that we know of yet.
Hopefully not.
Now, one thing about caffeine though, so this Fit Aid Energy that we drink, it's got 200 milligrams, so that's a big dose right off the bat, right? That may be too much for you. Now, I want to tell about Renee, very caffeine sensitive back in the day. Give her a coffee. Don't let her drive a car. Don't let her drive a car. It's like letting somebody drink alcohol and drive a car. She let her
It was
loose.
bad.
Yeah. Brain
So
is
bad.
like all of a sudden speeding
Squirrel
around.
brain.
Mm-hmm. Not good. Um, and now, how's your caffeine consumption? How much caffeine do you consume in a day, do you think?
Between 200 and 400 milligrams.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it could actually
it could be more.
higher.
Yeah.
It could be higher.
It could be.
Yeah, but it's not a problem. It kind of gets me
It's
to
not a problem.
homeostasis now.
It's not a problem, I swear.
No, yeah. No, it's something happened along the way
Oh man.
that there was like a shift,
Yeah.
and suddenly I'm not as sensitive to it as I was.
Yeah.
I kind of use it to, as a pre-workout or just to, just to get me back to functioning level in the morning.
Yeah, I do think that we might, there's times where it's good to come off of caffeine for a bit and reset yourself. It's not necessary though. I mean, the research says it's not necessary, but there is an upper limit. I think it's 600 milligrams is like an upper limit. You really do need to not go crazy and, drink too much. And if you're caffeine sensitive, obviously a bad thing. If you have heart issues and stuff like that, maybe check with your doctor. Don't be so crazy and just start pounding caffeinated beverages. I've heard a lot of stories from people that drink some of the ones that have a lot of other chemicals and ingredients in some of those energy drinks. I don't want to throw those energy drinks down. I probably consumed most of them anyway when I was a highway patrolman because that's what we did, working graveyard. But, heart palpitations, stuff like that. So monitor yourself, make sure that, blood pressure, heart rate, things like that are all good, and don't overdo it. But the benefits of caffeine are focus, energy. You also increase your ability to sustain activity anyway, because there's also an adrenaline release when you have that caffeine. And one of the cool things is it helps mobilize body fat stores. So that's pretty cool too. So
Definitely.
it's basically a natural fat burner.
Yeah.
And it's all been researched. Caffeine's been used forever. Good for endurance athletes, But yeah, I like using it when I know I'm getting. Okay, so I train people in the morning generally here. I definitely need to have my energy up because they expect that from me. I can't be walking around.
On.
I gotta be on. I
Yep.
can't be yawning.
Yeah.
I can't be stumbling. I can't be not focused on multiple people at one time. I have to really maintain that, and caffeine definitely helps me with that.
And then you've got the energy to do your own workout when you're done.
That's right. So that's kind of how it goes. And then I taper it down. That being said, though, yeah, you have to pay attention. So if you do have coffees during the day, or you have an energy drink or something like that, and then later you also have caffeinated diet soda or regular soda, you may be having a lot more caffeine than you think you are. Something to pay attention to, especially if you start having crashes. You start feeling like you're having a crash. I've heard of people using supplementing with just caffeine pills before, but only like kind of microdosing the caffeine pills so that they kind of keep their energy level up. They find that works really well for them, and it causes them to have sustained energy and not have those crashes, which I think is pretty valid, pretty interesting too. Yeah. I thought about trying that, but it seems so much more boring than just having a nice little
Just going for it.
tasty beverage.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of one of the ways I built up my tolerance.
Yeah.
remember, I would drink part of a Fit Aid, and then
Yes.
I'd put the rest in the refrigerator, and I'd kind of let the, the jittery thing happen. My heart would, kind of do this, and then after that settled down, I'd go finish it, and I would say I'm microdosing my caffeine today.
Yeah. It used to be pretty funny because I would know when hers was kicking in because all of a sudden old motor mouth would kick in, man.
It
and
still kind of kicks in.
it still
I do
kicks
start
in
to
like
get pretty
that.
talkative.
Yeah, she'll go from being like, "Hey,
Leave
what
me
are you,
alone.
yeah, what are
to-
you gonna do today?" To sounding like one of
Pretty
the
much.
chipmunks or whatever. That's when I go, "Oh, the Fit Aid's kicked in." I can tell, or
Yeah.
whatever it happens to be, caffeinated, whatever, kicked in. Yeah, some of those beverages though, be careful with. They may have some ingredients in there that aren't so good for you. So make sure that everything works with you. And if you're on medications, things like that, be very cautious when you consume stuff that may have a contraindication to what you're already taking. That's caffeine pretty much,
Yeah.
What else? Oh,
Proven.
Oh,
safe.
yeah. Huh?
Proven.
Proven. Yep. Proven
and
safe, right?
relatively safe,
600
yeah.
milligram tolerance probably, or max that you should ever get close to during the day for most people. Caffeine sensitive folks, be very careful.
Mhm.
It will affect you a little differently. Back in the day, there used to be since we're on the caffeine topic, right? Back in the day, I used to work out when we were in Hawaii. I would go to work out with my buddy George down at Pearl Harbor at the Block Arena. Shout out to the Block Arena. I don't even know if it still exists anymore, but man, it was like, that was more of our military hardcore gym. No juice bar, none of that, right? This was on the Navy base.
That was at the Air Force Base.
Yeah, the Air Force base, those guys are soft, man. Air Force, soft. They had the juice bar. It was like going to a club out on Hickam Air Force Base. I mean, you walked in there. I'm jealous. That's
was
why I'm
nice.
saying it. It was really nice.
Very nice.
They had perfect air temperature was perfect. They had the juice bar. It looked like you were going to a regular commercial gym on this military base. These guys were spoiled. Best equipment, everything, right? Everybody even looked like they were at a private gym.
Right. Block Arena, they had the rusty weights. And,
Yes, Block Arena was just hardcore. You just, went in there, a lot of yelling. The shape of it even was in that arena shape.
Oh, okay.
It looked, it was shaped like an octagon.
Oh, interesting. I never went to
Yeah,
that one.
I mean,
so-
we could have been holding blood sport fights in there if we wanted to.
Oh.
They had, heavy weights, heavy lifters. It was good. But yeah, George and I would meet up after work. So work graveyard. Well, we didn't have, I don't even think there weren't energy drinks. Were there energy drinks back then?
Not that I remember.
I don't recall that either. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that there was probably things that stimulated energy, stimulants, and that's what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But yeah, I don't think there was an official energy
I
drink.
think there was coffee.
It was coffee. In fact, a lot of people back then would use, like a tea, a strong tea or a coffee to get ready. And so George, my buddy, we had this, he turned me on to ephedra. And now that is a hardcore stimulant, which is now banned, and it's used in methamphetamine. And that's and we all know what that does. So it was so funny because EAS was a company under Bill Phillips, and they started marketing this under ephedrine. I think is what they called it, ephedrine. And so we would take this before we'd work out. Now, we didn't know anything about what we were taking. We just knew it provided energy. But the first time I took it, oh my gosh, we were both laughing because I could feel my blood almost moving through my veins rapidly. That's the crazy feel you got. You were like, oh my gosh, you knew you were taking some stimulants. I grabbed hold of the pull-up bar. I went from doing like 12 pull-ups. I could do 20 and still have time, still have energy to keep going. It was crazy the amount of energy you got from ephedrine. Wow. Yeah. And then they banned it. And it was funny because one time George called me up. He worked down at Group Honolulu. I worked at the communication station where we first started off together. And when he was down at Group, he goes, "Hey, Ralphie," he said, I can't, he goes, I think you stopped taking the ephedrine because I took it last night and then my heart started racing real fast and I fell out of my chair and thought I was
geez.
having a heart attack.
Oh, geez.
And so we just stopped using it. We were like, yeah, you know what? This stuff is probably bad news. And then what happened later on, right? Fen was one of the products that had it in there.
Oh, okay.
All these things to help people burn fat,
Yeah.
lose weight, and they banned it because it was getting abused. It was also, I guess, in pseudoephedrine,
Oh.
Sudafed. The
Why
good
Sudafed
Sudafed.
doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, that was the good Sudafed back in the day.
Garbage Sudafed now.
Yeah, it's trash now. But yeah, we used to use that. That's gone now too, which is probably for the better. But that's just a little fun little story. Yeah. I think that's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Cover some things.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So guys, main thing is you don't have to supplement with any of this until you get your habits on, on track. Make sure you're working out on a, regular basis. I'd like to see you get in three resistance training days a week minimum. Cardio training, 150 minutes minimum of moderate cardio activity per week. Build it up to 300 minutes per week. If not, try to go for like 75 minutes of vigorous activity. Get in some HIIT workouts, but get your habits on track. Get consistent with it. Get your diet on track, your nutrition. Eat the lean proteins, the fruits, the vegetables, then worry about whether or not you need a supplement. Get your blood work done. Make sure your labs look good.
Right.
If you're deficient, because we didn't talk about supplementing with minerals and vitamins, and I really didn't talk about omega-3s. I didn't talk about a lot of different things because we only want to beat you guys to death with so much time here. But until you get your lab work done, maybe don't worry about a multivitamin until you know where you're deficient.
Yeah.
You do take a multivitamin because of being mostly
plant-based. Yeah.
And so that covers some things that you're deficient in normally. But for everybody else, if you're eating a good diet, you may not need a multivitamin, but you may be deficient somewhere like in vitamin D, maybe B12, something like that, depending on how you eat, exposure to sun, stuff like that, vitamin C. But make sure that you get your lab work done so you don't just shotgun approach it, but you really get down and, target it the proper way. Right on?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we're good.
I think we're good too. All right. Until next time, remember, train now.
Age later.